Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have another species tour. This one is an updated version of the bull ants tour we did last year. This video will include every species we care for under the genus Myrmecia. Most species under this genus are also quite dangerous and armed with a painful and potentially fatal stinger, making them a genus that should only be kept by expert ant keepers. They're certainly some of the most interesting ants in my opinion. Enough ranting, let's get into the video. First up, we have a giant of the undergrowth, the Myrmecia brevinoda. This species is the largest bull ant in the world, with queens occasionally reaching up to 37 millimeters. We caught the queen this time last year, and she's only recently started to lay her second generation, which have begun to hatch into a small pile of larvae. Here we have Myrmecia nigriscapa queen. We have had this queen for over a year now, and she's gone through multiple generations of brood, all of which have died within a few weeks of hatching. Despite all this though, she's still doing alright. If she continues to fail though, we may brood boost her from one of our other similar species. This colourful queen is Myrmecia rufinodis. This queen is currently caring for a small batch of eggs. This species is found throughout much of South Australia, where they can be found in areas closer to the coasts. When provoked, they raise their abdomen and their movement becomes highly sporadic. This next species resides in an enormous rainforest ecosystem. They are Myrmecia simillima. Within this forest, they are thriving. In this environment, they are not alone. However, there are many arachnids and isopods, but perhaps the most substantial is the colony of Rhytidoponera victoriae. What started as a small colony has grown far larger than we anticipated, and because of this, they have started causing problems for the simillima. They aggressively defend food sources and steal from their larger counterparts. But the biggest problem is, they have recently started hunting the simillimas, which has become quite devastating for their numbers. Let us know if you guys have any ideas on how to control these tiny ants' population. Here we have a Myrmecia fuscipes queen. This species is known for their striking wing scar patterning that the queen displays. This species is found in South Australia and is quite an elusive species, being far rarer than most of the other species from its district, such as Myrmecia nigriscapa and pyriformis. This queen hasn't been doing very well, unfortunately, having laid no eggs yet, despite us having her for a few months now. This is one of the most colourful species in our collection, the Myrmecia fulvipes, with a metallic golden gaster and bright red legs. We have two colonies of these beautiful ants. These smaller bull ants are quite timid and tend not to forage while we're around. However, once their colony grows, they will hopefully become a bit more active. Here we have a small colony of Myrmecia mandibularis, the newest addition to our collection. This colony was originally far larger, having over 20 workers, although while they were being shipped to us, their test tube leaked and almost all the workers drowned. Thankfully, the queen and this one worker were able to survive. You can tell that they've been through a lot, as the queen is missing patches of hairs on her abdomen. This is a sign of stress displayed in some ant species. Hopefully, this colony is able to bounce back, and the queen lays some new eggs soon. Next up, we have the Myrmecia piliventris. This colony has been doing quite well from the last time you saw them. The cocoons have now hatched into workers. However, since that generation they haven't laid any new eggs, which is quite strange as they have had these workers for a while. This species is very interesting to observe with their bright golden colours and high levels of activity. This bizarre bull ant is Myrmecia chasei, a rare species found in Western Australia. This ant is unique as their queens are extremely large and robust compared to most other similar species. This ant is elusive and not kept by many people, so it will be interesting to study this species' behaviour. This is Myrmecia chrysogaster. It's another golden species found in the northeast region of Australia. This colony has been progressing well, now having one worker and 2 large larvae. Hopefully they continue to grow at this quick pace. These ants are the most aggressive in our collection, the Myrmecia gratiosa. These desert dwellers have an extremely painful sting, even worse than many of the other large species. You can see this in action, as this worker tussles with a cricket, using its strong mandibles to grip the prey, attempting to hold the target as still as possible, before going in with its potent sting and stabbing the victim repeatedly. The cricket is then dragged into the nest, where the worker makes sure that it is paralysed, before feeding the insect to the colony's hungry larvae. Here we have a species seen very recently on our channel, the Myrmecia michaelseni. This species is very impressive colour-wise, with her bright metallic orange abdomen, a very unique feature for ants as most simply have gold. This queen has been doing very well with her small larvae, which has now successfully pupated. Despite all this, something very alarming has happened to this queen. The front of her mandibles have snapped off. We have no idea how this occurred, however, the most likely possibility was that she got caught in the lid while we were closing it. We aren't sure on this though, so if you guys have any ideas on what could have happened, please let us know. Here we have a small colony of Myrmecia tarsata. This species is one of the hardest to cater for whilst they are in the founding stage, as they have laying cycles and are very easily stressed out. What this means is that a Myrmecia tarsata queen will only lay eggs in a very certain time of the year. If they are to eat their eggs, they won't lay again for another few months, which makes them quite a tedious species to raise. But in my opinion, it's worth it, as they are a very beautiful species. Here is our colony of Myrmecia sp17. They've been growing at an incredible rate, reaching a population of around 50 workers, with many more on the way. For some reason, the workers have brought all the cocoons into the outworld. This colony is very special, as they have 2 queens, the second of which was the colony's first worker. This is the other queen, the mother of this entire colony. She stays in the nest, safe from the outside world. In here, her sole job is to lay eggs. You can see her newest batch of eggs in the middle of your screen. This next species is possibly an undescribed species of bull ant. It appears most similar to the Myrmecia pulchra, but is slightly different around the mandibles. This species' queens are ergatoid, meaning instead of the queen elate sporting wings, they are completely ground-based. This makes it very hard to figure out whether a queen is fertile or not. We are pretty sure the queen we have here is infertile, as she hasn't laid eggs even though we have had her for almost a year. This brightly coloured species is the Myrmecia nigrocincta. This is our largest Myrmecia colony. They have well over 100 workers now, with many more on the way. They are a very small species compared to most, only reaching around 18mm in length. But what they lack in size, they make up for in speed and agility. They are able to propel themselves forward with short yet powerful hops, which allows them to get from their nest to your foot in very short concession. This tiny queen is a Myrmecia urens. This species is one of the smallest bull ants, only measuring in at around 10mm in length. Urens are unique in more ways than just their small size. They are a polygynous species, meaning that they can tolerate more than one queen in a colony. Next up, we have the jackjumper, or Myrmecia pilosula, one of Australia's most numerous species, being found in every single state except Queensland and the Northern Territory. This species is said to have one of the most painful stings. This bull ant gets its name from its ability to jump. This massive species is the Myrmecia pyriformis, one of the duller members of bull ant on this list, although this colony is one of our most active, constantly foraging and hunting. This species' colonies also grow a lot faster than others of its size, as the queens lay large batches of eggs at a time. This humble colony's brood pile has around 25 large larvae. Finally, we have one of my favourite bull ant species, the Myrmecia gulosa. This species has incredible colorations, being deep cherry red with bright yellow mandibles and a black tip on their abdomen. This colony has grown very well, being at around 8 workers strong, all of which are constantly hungry and on the search for food. And there you have it. That is all the Myrmecia species we currently keep. We truly have an incredible and diverse collection. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. Let us know what your favourite species was down in the comments below. Until next time, thanks for watching.